personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Today is the 18th of May, 2022. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. We're trying something different, so forgive my moving around. That's what we're doing. What's happening? What's happening? I got two subjects that I wanna dwell on. Rock gonna sit in the background, so y'all ain't gonna be able to hear him. So I'm trying to figure how we gonna work this out, because y'all know I like my input from my peeps. Is my light bright enough? I guess it is. He didn't say nothing. All right. So let's start with the good stuff. This whole sex thing and men wanting to regulate women's bodies and abortion and sex and breast milk. It's amazing how much men got to say about women's bodies, and clearly from some of the posts, we don't know shit about women's bodies. We don't know nothing about their reproductive system. From the looks of it, we don't know much about sex. We just having sex for sex sake. But we clearly don't understand some of these things. And I'm going to stay true to what I said. This whole abortion thing is not about us. Everybody think, oh, it's another conspiracy. I don't know what the conspiracy would be. Because if you listen to the Buffalo shooting, which I'm going to get into a little bit later, this race theory thing is a big deal. It's a huge deal. They're becoming a minority. I ain't sure what you mean by shift. Up, down, left, right. Because I know I got a big gap over here. But the whole abortion thing was because white people are becoming a minority. In 20 years, they're expected to be the super minority. So that's part of the reason that they want to make sure that these women have babies. Whether we accept that or not, because we think everything is about us, and it's really not about us. It's more so about them. And that's just one of them things that we have to start accepting. What's the benefit to us having babies for them? They don't need more workers. They got enough workers. they're losing. We've seen this with January the 6th and everything that's been pertaining to it. They are losing. They are losing the numbers game, which means they will eventually lose control, whether they accept it or not. And this is what we have got to start looking forward to. Now, as it comes to the abortions, and I'm listening to guys make excuses, and this is what they're doing, and I'm hearing everything, and yeah, we can drop it down to its simplest metric and say a man, honestly speaking, can have a baby. A man can create a baby every day. A woman doesn't have that ability. Once she becomes pregnant, she can't create no more babies. So best case scenario, she can get pregnant once. Where a woman can get pregnant once every 9, 10 months. A man can get a woman pregnant every day for 365 days. Our dog in this fight is the same as it is with other fights. At what point do we start thinking about protecting our women? You know, I made a post about it, and I see people want to explain to me all the things women can do to prevent pregnancies, all the things women can do to prevent pregnancies, all the things women can do to prevent pregnancies. Because clearly men can't do nothing to prevent pregnancy. It's totally out of our hands if I believe the insanity that I'm seeing online. And that's what I see. Um, where do we get this from? How do we want them to take total responsibility for while we claiming to be leaders and we want submission and yada this and yada that, yada, 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 yada? Where did that metric come from? Somebody tell me. Please, somebody tell me. Because I'm clearly not understanding. When did men give up being men? When did men come so spiteful, resentful, and wanting to be women so much? The fairer sex will always get what the fairer sex get. Rules of the game. It's part of the double standard. Some things we win on with the double standard, some things they win on with the double standard. The abortion issue is one that they should have total say so over. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. If you, fellas, if you got a woman who is going to have a baby, and first scenario, she doesn't want the child, I have proposed that we come up with some kind of contract that says you will pay for her to go through all this prenatal stuff. And when she has the baby is signed over immediately to you for you to have full custody. Now, all the trash that we talk, and trust me, I know lots of good men. I know tons of good men, not dudes, who would accept custody. But for the tons of men that I know would do it, there are megatons of men who don't want to do it. We cool with leaving the baby with the mama. We cool with this. We don't want to give up our lifestyle. We want her to give up hers. See, that's the significant difference because most of us do not want permanent physical custody. But we're okay with leaving her behind, blaming her for the destruction of the marriage, of the relationship, yada, 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 her raising our son to be yada, yada, yada. It seems like dudes who are portraying men are bashing the good men because all they doing is blaming. The law says you can be in your son's life. Most of the time, most with a big M, the mother says you can be in your son's life. But some people can't differentiate between the two. And this is both sexes. Some men don't want to have anything to do with their child if they're not with the mother. Some mothers don't want to have anything to do with the father if they're not together. And this does happen. But from what I'm gathering, this is not the norm. Now, you may know something different. And if you do, tell me and share it with me. But this is not what I'm getting. That this is odd. It seems to be quite the norm. How do we fix that? What do we do to fix that? At some point, we got to start stepping up, and we have to release this blame game that we love to engage in. Let's blame her for this. Let's blame her for everything. Am I pro woman? I am. But I'm also pro man. Pro man, not pro dude, not pro guy. At some point, we got to stand up. You know, oh, can't a woman have a woman can have a baby and the man don't have nothing to say about it? Well, that's a lie. How is she having this baby if you ain't had nothing to say about it? You agreed to have sex with her. These women, oh, they doing this, they bashing us, they doing this, yada yada. Okay, you're right. I seen the male bashers. I seen the ones who want to tell a man how to be a man. I seen them. My question to you is, if you seen them, why do you want to have sex with her? Make that part make sense to me. Because if I meet a woman, and I have met women who were not up to my standards, they had a theory about what men should do. Didn't jive with what I did. So, you know how easy it was just to go away? And Tamika, hey Tamika, it's Tamika says it starts with opening one's minds to different perspectives. And and I want to say, yeah, that's a part of it, but it starts with being adult enough to accept accountability and responsibility. Everybody wants to blame somebody else. Nobody wants to take into account what they put into the relationship. I want to blame somebody else. I want to blame them first. And I'm going to use Tamika because she's my friend. But if I get Tamika pregnant, it's Tamika's fault for letting me get her pregnant. It ain't my fault. It's her fault. Well, why is it not my fault? Oh, because she could have said no. Well, what else? Everything is her fault. She controlled it. She should have been on the pill. She should have been on this. She should have been on that. And this is all I want you guys to look at, fellas. And Tamika, you know you need to be on the Random Thought page, not my personal page. Come on over to Random Thoughts. Click that link up at the top. And come on over here and join me. It starts with us being accountable and responsible. Because I'm gonna stay true to this one theory. Until I start seeing women wanting submission and acquiescence, then I'm gonna keep saying that the dudes, this is your responsibility. You want them to submit to you. For a woman to submit to you, you got to give her something to submit to other than a penis and facial hair. So when you decide that you want to have unprotected sex with a woman, all of us are old enough now to know what unprotected sex leads to. We know what could happen. We know. The most effective form of birth control. The most effective form of birth control is abstinence. So we're going to just toss that out the window because I can't get y'all to abstain. The second most effective form of birth control, condoms. Let me tell you something about condoms. Do a little research. But don't trust me. Do your own research. Condoms don't cause any, unless you got a latex thing, but they don't cause us any physiological problems. What's up, Carmike? I need for all y'all to come to Random Thoughts with DVP. I need to stop playing. So, fellas, if you use a condom, you don't have to worry about having no artificial hormones placed into her body. I mean, that's if you care about her as much as you claim you do. If you care about her as much as you claim you do. That's all I'm saying. If you don't, hey, it is what it is. But don't claim something else if you know that something else is not who or what you are. It's really kind of easy. Because this is what we want. We want all these other things, but we don't want to be responsible. What's going on, Ari? So if we're going to negate our accountability and responsibility, oh, and there is a call-in number too. If y'all want to call in to holler the player, let me put the number down for y'all again. The number is 678-459-4236. And I'm all for everybody, but I'm not for us all being reckless and playing the blame game over and over and over and over and over again. But again, for me to protect myself from getting a woman pregnant, all I gotta do is strap it up. Unless I have a allergy to latex, which I can find another brand of condom, there's no side effect really. If she has an allergic reaction to latex, you get sheepskin. They got things that other condoms are made out of. Sheepskin are not as effective as latex condoms, but that's a whole other issue right now. But there are things we can do as opposed to blaming her and then want to tell her what she got to do with her body because I want her to have my child. I want this. I want that. I want this. I. But 6 months down the line, I want to walk away and leave her with the child. I want to blame her for everything. And that's what we tend to do. And now, now that they got to have these abortions, well, now that they can't have abortions, you think your life is going to be better. Because that's a really short-sighted thought process. You know how many babies are up for adoption at any given time? So we got all these babies already that don't have parents. One of the crazy GOP people wanted to talk about the safe zone where people can drop their kids off. How much sense does that make? It just adds to the problem. Why would we want to do that? Why? We're going to have more babies in the system. And then what? More money's got to be spent for this. And then what? Then what? What's next? We creating a surplus of babies that nobody wants. And we've all heard the stories of foster kids and all these other kids who end up turning to crime because nobody loves them. And we're creating future criminals, if you follow the math, while the Europeans try to get their numbers up so they can control elections. But we're so caught up in it thinking they're doing it because of us. It has nothing to do with us. And we can't keep hoping that women are going to do the right thing and take us off. Man, she can put me on, man, I ain't even got to do that. She could put me on child support. Now, how can she put you on child support? What did you do to put yourself in a position to be put on child support? Did you willing to have sex with her with no condom? Yeah, but I thought she was on the pill. Okay. I get it. You got tricked. But you're from the street, so you can't get tricked. Were you watching her take this pill? Did y'all have conversations? No, but man, I ain't ready to be no daddy. So then why not just keep a condom on? Why not just keep a condom on? Man, it don't feel the same. Listen to what you say, then look at what you do. Listen to what you say, then look at what you do. So in my proposal, I proposed that all men get vasectomies. Why not? Right, can you hear me? Can you send Mo a Venmo link so he could join me? Or is that too much? If men got vasectomies. If men got vasectomies. If men got vasectomies, let this play out in your head. If we got vasectomies, and then we got our careers together, we got our finances together, and all this other stuff, get the vasectomy reversed, because now you're financially able to start taking care of stuff. But we feel like having a vasectomy takes away from our manhood. But it's okay to pump a woman full of hormones. And you know the lie we love to tell is that women are emotional. So when you pump somebody full of hormones, all you're doing is you messing up their balance. So they're going to be a little bit more emotional, a little bit more irrational, and they don't know why, because it's not regular, because their body is pumping their hormones to fool them. And what ends up happening for lots of women is that the body stops producing hormones because it's getting these artificial hormones introduced to the system, and it's confusing her own body. So now if she gets sick, she ain't gonna have the same response because her body ain't sure what her body's doing, because it's not working in conjunction with these artificial hormones. Whereas men, we don't have to get anything done. Get snip. And somebody said, oh, vasectomies ain't always reversible. Okay. The pill ain't always effective. Condoms don't, there's nothing that's going to be always. So we got to quit looking for an easy out for us that it doesn't pertain to them. Because, yeah, sometimes shit happens. You can't reverse it. Damn, now what? What happened if the pill don't work? What happened if the condom break? Same thing. So these are still uncomfortable conversations that you got to have in the beginning to understand who you are and what you're doing. I mean, it's really not that difficult a thought process if you really want what you're claiming. If you really want what you're claiming. Now, when you just out here hooching and having sex with any and everybody who gets your gummy and all of them, that's your responsibility. Because I'm tired. I'm so sick and effing tired of men blaming women for all their decisions. I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass man. So if you're a grown ass man and you chose to sleep with this woman without a condom, knowing what the consequences could be, because you've been practicing this pull-out method, the only thing, for too long, too many people don't got away with this pull-out method because they don't understand, again, ovulation. The pull-out method is pure luck. Again, do your own research. Find out what pre-cum is. Find out how effective pre-cum is at getting people pregnant and how late your pull-out game actually is. Oh, you know your body. And I got you. I got you. Let me just sit a little bit closer. But when it's all good and you all caught up in the moment, what's up, Mr. Garage Door? What's happening, player? Let me make sure I give you I'm gonna give you a quick commercial shout out. When we all in the moment and it's all good, fellas, I'm telling you now, your pull-out game is whack because you don't want to stop. You ain't thinking about responsibility. You in the moment. You are in the moment. And bam, ooh, it's her fault. She should have felt my leg shaking. She should have seen my eye twitching and knew what was coming, and it's her fault. The fuck? All you do is wear a condom if you don't want a baby. But you want to feel good. You want to feel good. I ain't knocking you. You right, it does feel good. It is the bomb diggity. Know the consequences. Get a vasectomy. Get a vasectomy. My man Carl Marcus said, it doesn't feel the same, but I prefer the rubber over the future outcome. I'm shooting blanks at 6'3", but I'm still a man. See? Me and my ex was going through some tough times. I was ready to get a divorce. We weren't having no issues, but she caught me slipping. I gave into sins of the flesh. I wasn't even into her no more. I could tell you back then, I can't remember now, I could tell you within a 15-minute window the exact time that my son was consummated. We wasn't having sex, but she caught me in a moment and she rubbed me. The moon was low. We had sex. We probably had sex 3 times that year. That's why I said I know when my son was born. When she told me she was pregnant, and I was like, damn. She told me she was pregnant on a Tuesday. On a Friday, I had a vasectomy because I would never make that mistake again. Because one, I like kids. Anybody who knows me knows that I like kids. Anybody who knows me knows that I like dating women with kids. So I fixed 2 problems at once. I don't want to have kids, but I do want to have the good sex. But see, as Carl Marcus say, I'm shooting blanks. But the doctor told everything the doctor told me, I remember that. I still wasn't doing nothing because I was already going through an issue in my relation. So I had time to let everything heal. Don't worry about it now. But that's who I am. So I don't have to worry. After this time, yeah, it is it's some biblical shit if now she can get pregnant. But it's ways to prevent this, fellas. And it's on us. What up, K Slam? It's on us. We want to be leaders. We kings, we rulers, we all of this. Until it comes to being accountable and responsible. Then we victims. Then it's everything is on her. Don't get it twisted. I'm not making an excuse for every woman. I'm not making all men out to be bad. Men gonna do what men are supposed to. Dudes and hooches, they blend in and shit happens. But again, can you not blame yourself for getting caught up? Ari says, can you tell men the sexual enjoyment is not reduced by vasectomy? Fellas, I'm here to tell you, you don't lose nothing with a vasectomy. As a matter of fact, if I'm being totally honest, Ari, it makes sex better because now you know you can let loose. You ain't got to worry about a damn thing. What the song say? Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Hey, woo. Y'all don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. I want to say I had my vasectomy. I probably was 30. And for those of y'all that follow me, who y'all think I'm all this, y'all see these pictures of women, and I don't even take pictures of women I've been with unless I marry them. But if y'all want to say something, don't forget the call-in number is 678-459-4236. But the vasectomy don't change nothing. It don't reduce your manhood. It don't make you. I kept playing ball. I was playing flag football. I was in an intramural basketball league. It didn't change nothing. Let me read. For 1 week, I couldn't do nothing. You lay there with that ice. You don't want no jumping, no nothing. You don't want nothing exciting to happen. You don't want nothing all of a sudden to happen. Nothing. But after that week go by, you get past the nervousness. That first time, you like, and it's just anxiety. But after that, good to go. You good to go. And only thing you got to worry about now is STDs. And if you in a real relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, then you can toss it and you ain't got nothing to worry about. And let me tell you something, fellas. Let me tell you something. See, women ain't going to tell you this because they don't know it's part of the conversation. They don't know it's part of the conversation. It's kind of like having a beard. When a woman finds out that a man has had a vasectomy, she's just a little bit bolder. She ain't got nothing to worry about either. She ain't got to worry about jumping up in the morning, getting a Plan B pill. She ain't got to worry about these street rumors jumping up in the middle of the night and taking a shower and washing it all out. Because, if you get it out soon, you ain't got nothing to worry about. She ain't got to do none of that. She can relax and enjoy the moment even more. But as my man William Carmichael said now, if you still bouncing from chick to chick to chick, woman to woman to woman, keep the protection with you. Keep it with you. Bobby Wilson, what's happening with you, bro? American English origin. The phrase is shotgun wedding and shotgun marriage denote a wedding into which one or both partners are forced, usually because a woman is pregnant. And usually that's what it was. You got pregnant, or in worst case scenario, you got caught having sex. But 9 times out of 10, it was because she was pregnant. We know that's why a lot of people got married. It was because of the pregnancy. We don't have to have that problem these days, fellas. It's on us. It ain't on the women. They should not be forced to have an abortion for something that we can easily control by wearing a little sheet of latex. If we love this woman like we claim we do, oh hell, you ain't even gotta love her. If you like her and all the little freaky shit you think she can do, and she just your chick on the side, why not protect her? Why not protect her? If you got your little freaky freak, excuse me, I don't mean no disrespect, but fellas, if you got your little freaky freak, why not protect her so she can continue to be your little freaky freak? Why take her out of commission? Why? Selfishness? Because you don't want nobody else to have her? You don't want nobody else to have her? So you want to take off the market? So then you can leave your seed behind for somebody else to protect while you out there doing what men do, which is not what men do. It's not what they do. Believe it or not, it's what you do, and to make you feel better about yourself, You want to say all men do it because you don't want to admit that you ain't shit, player. But guess what? You ain't shit. See my man Hurst Dirk. I think Hurst got about 7 kids. Hurst said his pull-out game weak as hell. He knows this. And let me just tell you this. I got my vasectomy. It was outpatient surgery. I did it in his office. It took all of 5 minutes. It took more time to get me to calm down. When he was done, I was still saying, wait a minute. Is it going to hurt? And he said, I'm done. Oh, shit, for real? You got to be. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you go get it, don't be in that monster truck because you ain't going to be wanting to spread your legs too wide. You're going to walk. Get you a car. Get your car, not a stick shift. Get your car with regular shit so you can go on and do your thing. And you're right, some men are afraid of a pinch and a little discomfort. But why do we subject our women to this? Remember now, for most of us who ain't shit, this is the same woman that's got to raise our child. Quick commercial break, because I got Mr. Garage Doors on here for me. Hey, I needed some new garage doors. Mr. Garage Doors came over my house, put them up 2. I want to say 30 minutes, maybe 45. Found the brother on Facebook. Came in, did it, had a quick little problem. That was my fault, but he came right back within an hour and fixed it for me. For those y'all that want to shop black, buy black, spend your money. If you need garage doors, new ones, put up whatever, check out Mr. Garage Doors. Hey man, do me a favor, put your number in the comments for me, Mr. Garage Doors. Second quick commercial. K Slim got a paint and sip. Slim, can you put the name of it in there? We're gonna start doing some live shows from Paint and Sip. So if you're in the metro area, the metro Atlanta area, hey, get your woman. Y'all come hang out. We do couples things, or ladies, come on out, fellas. However you want to do it, come to the Paint and Sip. Check a brother out. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations and some relationship stuff. I see I got my man here. My man Mo is in the house. He gonna keep me straight because sometimes I be flying out to the left. So Mo is like, for those out old enough to remember the Flintstone, Mo is like the good little, I forgot the Gizmo, I forgot his name. Mo the good one. Because I got 2 bad ones. So Mo come and kick those off and he be making me act right. So, oh yeah, it's you, bro. It's you. Hold on, what? Saying when a sister has a hysterectomy, freedom from fear. Right. And they can be a little wilder. I'm just telling y'all, you don't need all this other shit. You don't need all these crazy drugs. Get a vasectomy, or wouldn't she have a hysterectomy? Don't let the age number fool you, because it's a lot of pent up freakish shit they've been had in their mind, and now they got the freedom to do. So for those y'all that don't know, my man Mo is in the house. I don't know where he just disappeared, so I think he ain't paid his lights right quick. So we're gonna wait. And hold on, what you say, Bobby Wilson? You just grinning with me. Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble, Bobby. But this is seriously. This is what we got to do, and stop falling into this battle of the sexes. If you're gonna be a man, be a man. Step up. Be accountable. Be responsible. Women love that shit. They love that shit. I'm telling y'all, fellas, I'm 56. They love it. What happened to Mo? Me and K Slim been friends for a long time. Come back, Mo. Come back. How was the moving, Shane? Come back, Shane. Come back. Come back, Mo. K Slim, like I say, he got a paint and sip in the indicator. Come check him out. Come check him out. I'm about to get me some commercial. We can advertise the place so he can tell y'all what time it is and all that. As a matter of fact, K Slim, if you were to call in, because we just happen to have a call-in number, and I should remember it, but y'all know I'm old and I ain't. 678-459-4236. You can call in and comment and tell us a little bit about your little paint, sip, and socialize event, sir. I'm just putting it out there, because that's what homies do. But yeah, let's fellas, as you are progressing and learning your way to accepting your manhood and being a true man, not just a pair of your own personal bills and being grown, when you get that true man status, what you do is you become accountable and responsible for all your own actions. When you pick the wrong woman, you accept your accountability and responsibility for that. You with us again, Mo?
Yes, sir.
Say something so I can hear you. All right, there you go. So when you do these things, your life gets a little bit better. Women love women love men who are accountable and responsible. It'll make up for some of y'all who got other shortcomings. But this shit is a little slight turn on for them when they can hear you accept the fact that you made a mistake. Welcome to the show, Mo. Tell me what you got for me, sir.
Yes, sir. No, man, I'm just chiming in, trying to work with you. I want to see what you got going on here. I see you schooling the people, man. So I want a piece of it.
Okay. So, right, well, did you catch the beginning? Right now, I'm just talking about this whole abortion thing and why men ain't taking accountability. And in my belief, it's more for the white people because they need for the white people to stop having abortions so they can get their numbers up for the vote. We just happen to be unintended consequences of it because some idiot didn't realize when white women have babies, black women gonna have babies. So y'all ain't gonna pass us. It's a little too late for that. That damage is done. It's gonna take 60 to 75 years for y'all to try to even catch up and pass us. And with the pool the way it is now, all we're gonna do is have a bunch of mixed babies, and theoretically, mixed babies are all black. So the white race will never catch up. They'll never catch up unless they pull some Hitler shit. And that's what I'm gonna start off with. I'm gonna get into your favorite topic that we need to talk about after we finish this one. This was just what I wanted to open up with, because, like I say, I'm tired of us blaming women. I'm tired of us avoiding accountability and responsibility. I'm tired of this battle of the sexes for no reason whatsoever. So because you don't have kids, right, Mo?
I don't have kids, right?
All right. And like I said, I have I got two men. Some biological, some because I adopted, but they are the same. But I participated in activities that would lead to kids. I did it. So I don't need to be sitting back saying what she could have done when it was all me. How long you been married, Mo? I know you told me, but I'm old.
Oh, man, it's about like 25 years, man.
Okay, so Mo been married since he graduated from high school. So, but for those of us who ain't been lucky enough to find that queen that we could get the free watch for, we done did some wild shit, and we have picked the wrong women. It ain't her fault, fellas. The same way I defend y'all when she said she picked the wrong man. Why did you pick him? Until you say why you picked him, you will never accept responsibility. That goes for either sex. If they lied to me, well, what was you doing that you missed a lie? Because I bet if you tell somebody your story, I bet in the process of your relationship, somebody told you that that brother ain't no good, that brother, that sister ain't no good. But you ignored them because either, fellas, you like the way her booty looked, you like the way that water glistened off her chest, you like the lip gloss. Ladies, you like something physical about him, so you ignored the rest of that shit. I thought he was a good man. Why'd you think? I thought he would grow into a good man. We all make excuses, and they're cute. But accountability and responsibility is the only way you can keep from making the same excuse. I'm sure, yeah, we all like what we like. And it's great when you can have these uncomfortable conversations, as I love to call them. Me and my wife talk. I ain't the best looking guy she ever dated. She ain't the best looking woman I ever dated. But guess what? We're good for each other. Because the best looking woman I dated was crazy as hell. The best looking guy she dated was a loser. So looks count, but they are not the end all to be all. But when you're young and you carefree, if you just want to smash, then do that and let it be that. Don't try to turn it into something else and then let your hormones continue to let you make bad decisions that you blame somebody else for. That's
Not
retarded.
only that, I gotta add something though, because it's not only
Do
that.
you think?
It's the damage that's done throughout that process. Okay, both ways. You know, the damage that's done to women, the damage that's done to men. When one person decide they're gonna be, I just call it selfish. When you're gonna decide you want to be selfish, get what you want, and then move on, somebody's getting damaged, whether you believe it or not.
And it's, again, it's for the wrongest of reasons. I've been a maintenance man. I've been that guy. I told my tales, and I ain't no unicorn. Most women, most. most, and I ain't dating them all, but most women, when you give them an option to let them know who you are, then they can choose and choose wisely. And guess what? They don't have a beef with you because you let them know up front. You let them know up front. So now they can make a choice. Now they can say, hey, you know what? I think I just want to sleep with this brother. And they'll close off all emotional attachment to you. So fellas, don't get her emotional attached to you if you don't have an emotional need for her. If it's just physical, give her the option. And Antoinette, I don't think men understand abortions or anything about the female anatomy. And like I say, when they start talking about all the birth control stuff, again, they don't understand the hormones that we're pushing into our women's body that has a lingering effect because they don't understand hormones. Because fortunately, most men don't have to get any kind of hormones put in them for anything. And we talking, some women get on the pill or get the IUD or get the shot as early as 16. And I think the shot lasts 10 years. The IUD is 5 to 10 years. So you got 10 years of something in your body, confusing your body. And then if you decide one day you want to get pregnant, your body has to learn to re-regulate itself. Because all the time when you had this device in you, pushing hormones, your body stopped producing as much because you didn't need it. Your body can't just jump start it like that. And that's what guys don't understand. And that's why we got to have more conversations. We have to have more uncomfortable conversations where women explain to men what their body does. I'm sure Mo probably like me. You know, every now and then our wives get a little too comfortable and start giving us way too much information about shit we don't want to know about. But a lot of times we didn't know. I didn't know this about women because it was never in my psyche to think about this. And you start hitting, it's like, damn, wow. Because I never thought about the hormones being pushed through a woman's body over that period of time and what happens to it. Damn, for 10 years, you telling your body you doing something that you ain't doing. Your body slow down and come out, bam. Now you having trouble conceiving because your body ain't pushing hormones through to help you. Well, damn. And whose fault was that? Oh, it's her fault. She shouldn't have took it. Damn. Just like that, we're going to blame her. She tried to help you have a good time, and her reward for that is you blaming her. What's that about? What's that about? Let's see. Black and white equal black. Right. Bobby, now you got these words I can't pronounce. Hypodescent and reflexive categorization of racially ambiguous faces. Oh, Bobby, you too smart for me. Black and white is black income, man. But yeah, and it sucks. It sucks. But if we're being honest, one of the easiest ways to get rid of racism is for us to date outside our race. Because then what? All the babies become black babies. So how you gonna have racism? Racism is that's the easiest way to get rid of it. I mean, in my mind. What do you think, Mo?
Wow, man, I don't know if I want to touch that one, man, but I can see.
I mean,
what
I
you're
wouldn't want to
saying.
do it.
Yeah.
I love my black women, but if I'm speaking from if I'm speaking from a tactical standpoint, what better way is there to infiltrate them and let them become part of us? Tactically speaking.
Well, I think, listen, what you're saying is factual, but it might not be the best idea. How about we just, through the law system, through the legislature and law system, how about we just equalize justice and equality in our country?
But that's a whole nother show.
I know, but it's okay. We'll stick with the
but we
racism.
but you already know we gonna get there too. But and this is one of them things where I ain't gonna make this a whole political show, but this is one of the things where we gotta spend more time voting, and we gotta vote not here. We gotta vote locally so that we send people who will protect what we want. Because as we watching this, they doing everything they can to eliminate our vote. People want to be brain dead and act like, oh no, they just doing this. It ain't about Democrats or Republicans right now. It's about watching what they do when they doing the redistricting, how they making two Democrats run against each other while they make the Republican side bigger. But they push some Democrats together so they got to run against each other. Or if they slick and they smart, and a couple of them are, they're gonna let the Democrat run against Republican, but they reduce the Democrats' area to so small that they don't be able to get enough votes to win now. And this is something that we got to pay attention to, and this is why they're pushing that narrative. This is why the whole race theory for them is something they're not worried about, the critical race theory. They worried about the loss of race theory, or what is it, the great race theory, whatever they talking about, because they don't want to lose that power, and they see it coming. They see it coming. And there's things we can do to gain it back. But we got to pay attention, and we got to stop being victims. All this comes with accepting accountability and responsibility. When you start voting, we need to pay attention to these things that happen. And racism, right, Mike, racism ain't going to become uncomfortable, illegal, prevalent until we almost knock it out. And unfortunately, the easiest, ain't the most efficient, because I don't like it and Mo don't like it, but the easiest way is the breed with it. Cause then what? What these little white boys gonna say when they grandbaby got a black dad? The baby black? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And it's crazy. I had a call the other day from one of the corrections officers I know, and he said he called me and he gave me a series of questions. And he asked me, "Am I racist?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man," he said, "I felt like that." He said, "And I thought I wasn't." He said, "But then I realized my dad was telling stuff to me, and he had me talking like him. Because this ain't the way I think, but he kept saying this, and some of those things I got was from him. I don't dislike black people," and he did. Hell, he can't. He was calling me. But he dismisses black people. And he didn't know that he was doing it because it was unconscious. But he had built-in stereotypes from listening to his father. And he was like, "Yeah, I thought this, but working at the prison, I see that a lot of white inmates saying shit, but I'm having trouble." I said, "Yeah, because you're a racist." I say, "Luckily you're a conscious racist. You can change your ways because you are acknowledging that it's your thought process that's making you look at them like this. It ain't what they doing." And he's like, "Damn." He said, "How do we do it?" I said, "I ain't white." I said, "I'll reach out to some people and ask them, but as a black man, I can't tell you how to eliminate your thought process. Some of them are actually legitimate, but you steering too hard to blame black people wrong when they're not, and sometimes you oversteer." And I don't think it's that
So,
white people don't want to be confronted with their crime. I think they're comfortable with their crime. What you say, Mo?
oh no, I was just gonna ask you. It sounds like Uncle Ruckus syndrome.
And
Is
some,
that
like I
what you
said,
were
some of them
talking
want to
about?
do better. They just don't know how. Explain it for everybody, because I don't want us to just be having a conversation with me and you and everybody don't get it.
Oh no, no. So the Boondocks, man. They got a guy in there called Uncle Ruckus, and he's reverse prejudice, man. He's black as tar on the street, but he's prejudiced against black people. So that's what I thought you was talking about when you was talking about your buddy at the prison.
Oh, like I said, he don't want to be, but and he's trying to figure out how to undo a lot of what his dad did, because he found himself overly judging black people, and that's what I say. The fact that
Yeah,
you can recognize it is the first start. Once you can recognize it, the fact, they say, if you can ask me if you're crazy, you're probably not. So if you ask me, are you racist? You probably already know that you're what you're thinking, but you don't want to be, and you want to change it. So I got to give you props for at least acknowledging the fact that you have been doing things, and that you want to change. And
yeah. So
and go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, no, I was just gonna say that, you know, that sounds like an indoctrination. At some point, people got their thought process um, steered into a particular direction, and that was passed down, and that's probably what happened to them.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't know if you are a product of your environment. If that's what you get, that's what you get. Um,
Yeah,
let's see. White men are trying to return to an environment similar to slavery, where they control the births, other rights, and those less powerful than them, i.e., black people and women. This is also basic population control. Control money, women, maintain global power, which is supremacy. My brother has two white sons that he can't see. Wow. And these are things that we got to look at, because we got to break the whole process down into different segments, because I don't think it's just one something that's prevalent for everybody. And these are ways that we got to become more cognizant and informed and stop playing victim. If I know more is my enemy, why am I being friendly to him and keep doing shit? At some point, I need to structure a plan where I can overtake this. And this is where I don't understand us, because we love to claim royalty, we love to claim this king and queen status. But when are we going to mount a war that's built to last and we can progress forward? Not just talk the talk and walk the walk, not just talk the talk and get everybody up in arms and we plan to go commit suicide, because that's what a lot of these conversations lead themselves to. How are we going to fix these issues? How are we going to fix these issues? And you know, people keep saying, well, we all got to do this. And one of them just, as much, we all ain't gonna never got to do nothing. We all is a mentality that's going to keep us backward. Get those that want to do what you can with a good team. Having 100 players on your team, if only 30 of them want to win, that means you got 70 people pulling you back. Take the 30 and run with them and get a great team. Oh no, all of us got to go. No, all of us don't have to go. You know, people who don't want to do better. I'm sure I'm gonna speak for Mo, because I'm sure this is something that Mo, Wanda, Antoinette, Michael, everybody had to do. At some point, we had to leave somebody we call friend behind, because they didn't want to come up the way we was coming up. They wanted to stay at their comfort level, which wasn't where we wanted to be. You can still be cool with them, but when you read, a dude told me I wasn't a true black man because I moved my family out the ghetto. All I could do was laugh. How is my blackness defined by me still staying in the hood? Well, I'm staying here because I'm trying to do something. No, you staying there because you can't get a good job. Don't get it twisted and try to make yourself out to be a martyr. You got, understand, I know who you are. You got 2 kids you ain't paying for. You ride the bus. You're not staying in the hood as a choice. You stand in the hood because that is your only option. But I don't know too many smart black men, who want to put their wife or child in harm's way. And we know what the hood is. The hood means harm's way. Why in the hell? I worked hard to get out of that. Why would I go back to prove my blackness? I'll go back and help educate and elevate, but I ain't going back there to live. That's not going to happen. And if you think that makes me less black, then I already know what I need to do with you. Snip, 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 as we've been talking about already. Because that's insanity. That's
Well,
insanity.
that whole mentality is wrong, because I think what it's doing is associating blackness with poverty and struggle, and so that's that's not what blackness is about.
It ain't nowhere close to it. But that's what some of us want to see, and that's what we push. You know, oh, if I don't, oh, you got money, you don't change. What did Jay Z say? Damn right I change. Damn right I change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why would I? Why at 56 would I be the same person I was at 16? That's idiot. That's being a total idiot with no growth. I don't know nobody who grew up saying, man, when I graduate, I'm gonna get me an apartment in the project. I'm gonna keep doing project shit. I want to live in this concrete wall. You have got to be shitting me. Got to leave you behind. You know, well, why you ain't take so and so with you? Can't take nobody who don't want to go. It's just like when we do this show, and I think I said Mo, and I talked to Wanda. A lot of times, the people that come to the show ain't the people I need to talk to. But sometimes, like a pep rally, we need to hear each other and know that we still out there. But the people who want to know, they find resources. They don't mind having uncomfortable conversations, because some of the stuff I say is not what people generally want to talk about, because everybody want to be kumbaya and get along. But for us to do better, we got to have uncomfortable conversations to figure out where we going wrong, what we doing wrong, where our thinking need to be adjusted. You can't do that with a circle of yes men. I ain't never met Mo, but Mo said a couple of things, made me rethink some of my thought processes. Because I was talking to somebody who wasn't going to sit there and keep patting me on the back and lying to me, telling me whatever I think. Wanda done corrected me way too many times or gave me something else to think about. And that's what we got to do for the progression to start. We got to, both of the Michaels, Bobby too, they give me stuff. We can go back and forth. And as I say, there's nothing like being able to go back and forth with a grown man or woman and being able to exchange disagreeing dialogue without having to get into the name calling. Because there are some things that me and Michael agree on. There's some things that we don't. There's some things that me and Bobby agree on. There's some things that we don't. But guess what? We ain't finna call each other names. Hell, Mo don't agree with everything I say. We don't have to. The process is to educate and enlighten us so that we can move forward. So that we can move forward and get to the top of that mountain. And hopefully bring anybody who want to come. But our job, my job, ain't to bring everybody. I already know that everybody can't come. It ain't enough room up there for everybody. You're right. Eric says echo chambers, groupthink, and mob mentalities are dangerous, especially if they don't have a plan. You got to have a plan for success. You can't just keep hoping your way through it. And I tell people, I can get together, me, Mo, Ari, Wanda. We in 4 different areas. We can go out and get our own groups. We can come back together and talk. Mo can tell me what's going on in his area, what people think, because we're going to all be specialists in a different area. We're going to all be specialists in a different area. So that when somebody hit us, that's a Mo area, let me get Mo. But when the 4 of us talk as the master group, we can express all these and we can go back to our groups and spread more information. But if we all doing the same exact thing, we're going to be easily blindsided because ain't nobody looking at nothing else. And that's that crazy mentality because we got to all do this. No, we ain't got to all do it. You look at sports, everybody on the team has a different responsibility. Everybody has a different responsibility. You look at soldiers, everybody has a different responsibility. Most of them got 2 or 3, like in any venture. My job is this, this, and this. But everybody ain't got the same 3 jobs. This is what we got to do when we start this whole process. So when we look at what the government is giving us that we don't like, we got to start dissecting it and figure out how to take it down. How do we beat this? How do we beat this? How do we beat that? Luckily, with this abortion thing, I want to say there are 7 states, New York being the most prominent one, who says they're going to always be open to abortions. The district attorneys have said they will not prosecute anybody for giving abortion. They don't care what law come down. So we still got 7 states. The trick is now is getting people to these states. Because when it's us and we're people of low income, some people ain't going to be able to afford to make that trek from one state to another. So how do we help them? And that's where we got to start pooling our resources and our knowledge and our contacts to start being mused, for lack of a better word. And that's what we, I don't need them fussing about what they say. Once the milk is spilled, when you fuss your kids, does the milk become unspilled? You clean up and you show them how not to spill it again. I don't need them keep worrying about what happened. Let's fix it. Let's get to the cause of the problem. I don't need to keep talking about the problem. How do we fix this problem? How do you keep kids from spilling milk? You tell them why they shouldn't? Every now and then you might have to pop their hand because I still believe pain is the greatest motivator and educator. And go from there. But the punishments, if the state is willing to accept their punishment, that should give us some incentive to understand that there are people, which means we got to elect these people who are willing to confront the system for us, which is why local elections are so much more important than the DC election. They're way more important. They're way more important because we don't want people doing underground abortions. We don't want. There are herbal ways to get rid of abortion, to have abortions. There are lots of ways, and that's just one of the things that, fortunately, unfortunately, we're gonna become more versed in. There are, from what I understand, there are teas that people can drink. There are foods that people can eat that will upset the whole process. But for every man to keep sitting back and thinking, oh, she can just take a plan B. Plan B is, I think, 95% effective within the first 24 hours. After that, it drops down to 85 and 61 or something. But again, why are we looking at her to do everything? When, if it ain't what we want, all we got to do is not add to it. We're the straw. We're the straw that stirs the drink. Women lay eggs every month. There's no stopping that. They lay eggs every single month. If the egg doesn't get fertilized, no harm, no foul. Michael says, for 6 years, I've been providing information to purchase homes. Only 2 people took the knowledge. How do we get our people to progress and move on? We got to support and hold each other accountable. And again, Michael, you can only hold those accountable and do these things for them who want it. I think we spend way too much time trying to give it to people. We want to share our knowledge with everybody, but if they don't want it, it tires us out. One of the best pieces of advice that I got when I was going through my whole little thing, this dude pulled me to the side. He said, "Yo, D, you mean well, man. You got a good heart, but understand, hospitals can't save everybody, and you can't either." Shit, that hit home with me. I can't save everybody. So why am I spending more time trying to save everybody as opposed to doing the best I can for Mo, Michael, Antoinette, and Wanda? They want it. So I can't save Lou and Ray and Pookie and Stan. They don't want it. So as opposed to dividing my sources 8 ways, I'm just gonna give it to the 4 that want it and move forward. But what about them? What about them? What did Harriet Tubman say? She could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. But some of them were happy. You couldn't free them. When she went to save her husband, hell, he done got remarried. He happy where he don't want to do it. What's she gonna do? Hit him over the head and make him come? She can tell him about the better life all she wants to, but if he's comfortable where he's at, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? Looking at that wall Mo got behind him, Mo living in a house. But if Mo found a woman of his dream and they going through everything, and she said, "No, Mo, I want to stay in the projects," and Mo sit there and he trying to convince her why they don't want to be in the project, Mo got a decision. Do I want to love this woman forever and stay in the projects, or do I need to reassess this and maybe find me another love? Mo got a decision to make, and that's what we all have to do. And go from it. Go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I was just gonna say no decision for me, man. I grew up in the projects, man. No decision for me. I'm gone, brother. She can stay there. Simple as
And,
that.
and it's but how many times have we had to make that decision that we had to leave somebody that we thought we cared a lot about or we thought cared about us, but they don't want to progress. They want to stay
Yeah.
stuck in the quicksand. Hey man, I bid you well, but I got some shit I got to do, and I can't even say it's brainwashing, Antoinette. Sometimes it's if you don't know better, you can't do better. If you don't, one of the greatest things about living in Atlanta is you can see rich black people any time of the day. It ain't like they're missed and they stay way over there and you can never come in contact with them. We got black doctors everywhere. We got black nurses, black dentists, females everywhere. So I can take my daughters to a black female dentist. I can take my daughters to a black female doctor. I can take my sons to a black so they can see this. It ain't something they just heard about. But a lot of people ain't never seen this. They ain't never seen. Why is it we don't talk about good credit? Most of us never knew about it. By the time we found out about good credit, and that's why I say I can't go for brainwashing. By the time we find out about good credit, it's after we've left college and realized our credit score is sucking because of that stupid loan that we got. Because nobody explained it to us. Nobody explained it to us. And I ain't knocking college people, but that's the first big trap we fall into. With no job, the government will give you a loan for $40,000. With a job, you can't get a loan for $10,000. But you 18, you don't know no better. You sign your sheet with that paper, it's 2 payments. That credit score ain't nobody never said nothing to you about. Now you can't get nothing else. So now you got to spend the next 2-3 years trying to pay this down because we don't understand something. You're right. It is systematic racism, but we didn't know nothing about it. So why do we keep falling into the trap? Mo, when did somebody talk to you about credit and credit scores?
Never. I found out the hard way. I found out by using the process, by getting by having by ended up with bad credit and trying to go to college and putting putting all my bills on credit. And then when I got out and I tried to get my first job, man, I was already $50,000, $60,000 in debt.
And for some jobs, that gonna mean you. That means that's gonna mean you a risky employee. Because some jobs won't hire you based on your credit score. Because you're more apt to steal or fall prey to espionage. But this is one of those uncomfortable conversations that we don't have early, and we continue that roller coaster. That ain't the white man no more. That's us not talking about it to each other. That's us not talking because we know. But who are we sharing this information with? So when I go to some of these schools and kids want to talk to me and they're like, I'm thinking about this, they don't know nothing about this. So when do we start telling them, or do we just sit back and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let them learn the hard way like I did"? And that's why some people get upset. Well, they should be doing this. They should be, but they not, and we know they not. So if we know the system ain't, we know the schools ain't. When do we step up as the elders and mentors? Because everybody who on this page right now, me, Mo, all of us are over 35. Most of us are over 40. So we're the elders. We're the mentors and mentees. And I forgot, what do you call lady mentors? Are they mentors too? I don't want to say the wrong thing. What are lady mentors, Mo?
Yeah, mentors. Mentors.
Okay, so we're the mentors and the elders. So ain't this something that we should be teaching? Right, Michael, this is what we should be doing. We can't keep waiting for the school. So we got to step up as opposed to we kings and queens. Don't they teach the village? We can't just want to wear the crown and not do shit with it. And this is why you have the class. Whoever come. You're gonna find out at the break who really want it. Cause on the break, when you try to have your break, what's gonna happen? They ain't gonna let you go to the bathroom because they got questions. They got questions. When the class ends at 3 o'clock and you ready to go home, so you can watch Speak for Yourself, like I like to watch. You gonna keep missing it because the students got questions at 3:05. They want to stay there and keep picking your brain because you educating them. It's our responsibility. And who is it said each one teach one? And see, my whole theory is each one teach two. I don't want to teach just one. I want to teach two. I want to teach two. Yeah, hopefully 3 or 4. But I always say each one teach two. I'm smart enough to be able to teach two people. I can multitask. But this is part of what we got to do. And when we see the system attacking us, even if we're collateral damage or even if we're unintended consequences, how do we get around it? How do we get around it? The voting thing? If we got people who couldn't vote in our own neighborhoods, our next door neighbor, our 3 doors down neighbor, why don't we give them a ride to the? Why didn't we give them a ride to the voting booth? It's crazy that you could go vote, and on one hand you see everybody within your immediate radius, your 6 neighbors. All y'all drove cars down there. Y'all could have went in one car, y'all voted at the same time. But nobody got Miss Lucy. Nobody got Miss Ethel. Nobody got Miss Maine. Why not? Why don't we get them a ride? Why don't we make sure they got there? We think the world of them. We let our kids play in their yard. But when it came time for something responsible, out we had a momentary lapse. These are the things that we kind of have to say to each other because sometimes we just need to remind people, hey, don't forget so and so. Don't forget these people that they need a way because they don't drive. They want to vote. They don't drive though. So how they gonna get to the voting booth? We know they there. We speak to them every day. They tell us shit about, hey, I saw you got delivered from so and so because them nose ass neighbors they ain't got no car. They know everything. This is part of the process that makes us stop being victims while hollering kingship or royalty. This is when they tell us that ain't gonna be no abortions, that we have to pull together. And if we see something happening, because I don't believe the majority of people are using abortions as birth control. I believe the majority of people who are getting abortions are doing for legitimate reasons. I've seen some of the horror stories, and we can't sit and pick and choose about who can and who can't. Because for the girl who's getting it for an abortion, wrong reason. We all agree. She just using it. She using it as birth control. She's using abortion as birth control. What about the girl that gets raped? Would you not help the rape victim so you don't accidentally help the girl who's just misusing the system? Is that what we want to do? Or do you just have to accept the fact that you're gonna have to help both of them so you help the right one? And that's part of the decision process that we got to make. That's part of the decision process that we got to make. Because I believe the rape victim needs it. Am I gonna sit there and put her through 100 questions and make her not be able to get it because of the girl who's using this birth control? What's the parameters? Saving our race. Saving our race is what we finna get into. Because this is what I want to talk about. That was supposed to last 30 minutes. This is what I want to talk about. The objective is to save our race. Mo, you have something? Because I'm finna switch subjects right quick.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right. Most of y'all know about the Buffalo shooting right now, right? Y'all read most of the stuff about it. Wanda sent me some stuff about it. They deleted some of it before I got a chance to read it. I'm sorry I missed it because I still ain't seen that manifesto. But I was on the show yesterday and they asked me what could we do about it? What could we do about it? And this is where I wanted you. And this is one of them things where it's on us. And the guy said, "What you mean?" You're right, he did. And did y'all see the title of the show? Is snitching helping us out? See, we've adopted a no snitching mentality. Would you agree with that, Mo?
Absolutely.
And you know what no snitching does? No snitching. The reason you don't want to pay attention, you don't want to see shit. So you walk around like this. Because by all accounts, Mo, and you're a better reader I am than this. The white boy didn't sneak up on them, did he?
No.
He parked in a parking spot. He had a gun that said, "This is your reparations," and he had something else. He came in gear. Nobody saw him. How in the
Wait.
F?
Wait, DVP. Let me just
Go
correct you.
ahead.
It ain't that nobody saw him. Nobody said nothing. I think that's what you wanted
Okay,
to say.
correct. Nobody said, because you know why? We don't want to see shit. We don't want to see shit. We want to stay in our own little world. Because no snitching has made us blind to everything until what? Until it happens to us. Then we want everybody. But we have said we don't. I ain't telling on nobody. I'm gonna mind my own business. So who did this to us? That was what we did. I ain't listening to not one excuse about the white man or the government or the police or none of that. We adopted this mentality. So guess what that made us? It made us perfect prey. It made us perfect prey. Because something can happen right in front of us, to us, and guess what? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing because ain't nobody seen nothing because they don't want to get involved. That man walked up to the store with a rifle in his hand. He looked, he got on all the gear. He got on bulletproof vests. He got helmets on. And ain't nobody called the police. Ain't nobody said nothing. And correct me if I'm wrong. More is my voice of reason. Ain't we all saying we armed now and we gonna be ready to defend ourselves? But it don't work unless you can recognize a threat. And if you walking with your head down, with your earbuds in, and not wanting to see shit, the threat ain't never coming.
Hey man, let me just say this real quick because I'm just gonna make this quick point and then I want you to go back on your tear. But I just want to say that I want to remind people that this is something like the bum on the sidewalk mentality. You know, when you go to certain cities, y'all see bums on the sidewalk, you know, you act like you don't see them, walk around them, don't do nothing. This is the exact same thing where you see something happen and people they don't want to help, they don't want to say nothing, they don't want to do nothing. Because there's no way that dude should have been able to get in there and kill all those people. There's no way that should have happened if we talking and we all communicating.
And that's the sad part. But something can be right in front of us, but because we've convinced ourselves that we don't want to know nothing. And the great thing about the show, when I did it yesterday, one of the girls said, she said, you know what? He telling the truth. He said, that was me. When I first got my house, I didn't say nothing to none of my neighbors. I came in and minded my business. And one day an old lady came over to my house and knocked on my door. She said, your car been here for 3 days. She said, I was finna send the police over here. She said that's when she realized somebody was looking out for her. And she didn't even know who this lady was. And it opened her thought process to just keep it to myself. You don't know what's going on, and if something happens, won't nobody know nothing because you don't talk to nobody. This is some shit that we keep preaching to each other. We claim we want a village, but then we silent and don't talk to each other, don't want to see nothing. That man came up there, and as Wanda said, he said he made several trips. He made several trips. Ain't nobody seen him. We wouldn't know shit about him, but he told everything. And then
Now,
what do we
hey,
do?
can I?
Yeah.
I just want to point this out. I don't want to change this up. I just want to point this out though, because this kind of bugs me is that, um, so he went on and did this, but my question would be, how involved in that boy's life is his parents if he was able to do something like that and they have no idea he was trying to carry this out? I mean, I just don't get that.
Yeah,
Unless
you
they
do.
were co-conspirators. Unless they was co-conspirators.
They ain't got to be co-conspirators. In this 21st century, I've heard this said too many times that I'm gonna let kids have what I didn't have. So we're gonna give them their own privacy. You ain't living in my house with privacy. That's rule number one,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 6. There is no privacy in my house. Your privacy is okay, because I got daughters. You can shut the door. Because I respect the fact that I'm the only man. So I'm gonna let you shut the door. But you can't lock this door. You ain't finna lock it. And when you gone, if I want to come in here and look through it, guess what? I'm coming to look through it. So you got all this stuff because his dad bought one of the guns. Ain't unusual, but it's the other stuff. It's the magazine. It's all this. I busted one of my sons. He wanted an assault rifle, and I asked him why. He tried to explain to me why he needed an assault rifle. So I had to explain to him what assault rifles do. You got a wife, you got kids. So let me tell you what an assault rifle does, other than look pretty. Assault rifles go through walls. So if somebody break in your house, and you shoot, if you miss, how do you know the bullet ain't gonna hit your kids? That's why you need a handgun. Assault rifles are for the woods when you want to shoot long distance and you ain't worried about what else it hit. There are very few assault rifles that won't penetrate this damn paper mache. Most of it will penetrate. If you got a good solid wall, it's gonna penetrate that too. Remember, assault rifles are meant to penetrate metal. Most of us don't have metal walls in houses. You can't explain to me why anybody needs an assault rifle in a suburban setting. You can't explain to me why you need an assault rifle, period. Hunters don't use them simply because of the overkill factor. The bullet gonna mess up the meat. They don't use them. They use bolt
I
action
just
rifles because they got a whole lot more control. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to tell people, if you don't believe what the man's saying, I want you to look for this video where these robbers robbed a bank in North Hollywood. It's going to blow your mind. These dudes had assault rifles and body armor and almost could not be stopped by the police. You got to see the video or watch the show to understand what I'm talking about, but I'm sure DVP knows.
And we look at it, and when they talk about the gun laws, and I have a collection of guns. I don't have as many as a lot of people because I don't see the need for them all. Don't judge me, but I like knives. I like being close enough personal. Um, but I was listening to a guy yesterday. He was talking about, oh no, see if it would have been me, this is what I would have did. I said, and I'm so tired of that. I said, because you know what I've done as one of my little training gigs. I take all these people out who swear they're great shots. Take them out. Let's go to the range. We in a gun range. There's no threat. We're in a gun range, right? Simple. You showing me how you got a grouping like this. That's a good grouping. It's a good grouping. You ready for this, you ready for that. You sure? Yeah. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna control the target. I ain't gonna shoot you. I ain't gonna hit you. I'm gonna control the target. I'm gonna tell you how long you got the shot to get these. I'm gonna tell you how many seconds I'm gonna give you to shoot this target. All I'm doing is moving the target back and forth. That's all I'm doing. Target's still the same size. The head is still in the same place. The torso still in the same place. All right. You got 3 seconds to get 2 shots off. I hit the target. Decent shots. One missed. One in the lower torso. What happened? Man, you moved the target. But at the same place. 10, 15 yards, the bullet is you're still aiming at the same thing. I introduced fake stress and you couldn't shoot the same. But you mean to tell me you think if somebody is shooting at you, you can be able to do all the same shit you do in the range? This is a practice environment. But everybody's so comfortable. Oh, I got these guns. Oh, I'm doing this. Let me just add a little stress to your life. Let me add a little stress to your life. Simply moving it and telling you ain't got but 2 or 3 seconds, your whole world changed. Now, if you was being scored, you would fail. And all I did was move the target back and forth and say 1001, 1002. So if you can't handle me moving the target back and forth and counting out loud, how you think you're gonna handle bullets coming at you? What's man's basic mindset? Self-survival. If somebody's shooting, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna look for a safe hiding space. It's been proven the only somebody who works against that theory, is a mother. A mother will risk her life to go grab her kids off of a swing if shooting started in the park. Not a dad, the mother. The mother. We see it in nature. The mother lion, the mother bear, they will fight the biggest, baddest lion or bear to save their young. Those are just simple facts. But all these guys talking about what they would have did, and I guarantee you that more than that police officer had a gun in that store. Even though it's New York, where gun laws are a little bit strict, I guarantee you more people had guns in that store. But guess what? They were traumatized. That fear factor kicked in. Butt cheeks got a little tight. They hid. You know why? That's a normal response. Mo, correct me if I'm wrong. Wanda, correct me if I'm wrong. When we heard about the George Floyd killing, was there or was there not an MMA fighter? This is a man who gets paid to fight, who was behind the little girl watching the whole thing, telling the police to stop. Dude, you're a professional fighter. Wasn't none of them police threatening. Not one police in that George video was in a threatening mode. One had his hand in his pocket, the other had his hand on. Didn't nobody have no gun out, no baton, no pepper spray, no nothing. So your grown ass professional fighting ass couldn't even launch your body to save a man that you saw dying in front of you? But you're a fighter. You're a fighter and a grown ass man. You saw a man dying in front of you. We can't never say what we will and won't do because we ain't been there. But let me rephrase that. I volunteered to be a cop. I knew what I was getting into. Yes, I've been that idiot who was running the wrong direction when everybody was running away from shit. It was my dumb ass that was running the wrong direction to try to save total strangers. But guess what? It took training to get me there to the point where I was comfortable with that. And don't get it twisted, I was still nervous. But we've been trained for this. And it still ain't easy. That's why you see a lot of police quit after the first shootout and they didn't even do the shooting. It wasn't what they thought it was. They thought it was going to be some old TJ Hooker shit. All you got to do is talk shit, and every now and then you get into a fight. First bullet that whizzed past them, they didn't want to do this no more. So now we want to act like because you got a gun and you got this fucking mustache or beard, all of a sudden you a hero now? Because if it would have been me. But you the same dude that ain't protecting shit now. For those of y'all that's in Georgia, the little girl that got killed at the Cleveland Avenue exit. I remember this because I had a run-in with the community. She got killed at an exit. At this exit where she got killed, 26.5 yards, because I measured it my damn self, was a bunch of armed people who keeping white people out the neighborhood. She got killed. Y'all ain't see shit. Y'all didn't do shit. Because y'all want to stop white people from driving through your neighborhood. While another black man killed a girl right 26.5 yards from y'all. But y'all didn't respond to that shit. Y'all heard the shot. Y'all got together. Y'all went to Stone Mountain because y'all going to confront the Klan. The Klan didn't even show up. I ain't denouncing, I ain't denying that they exist. But when was the last time you saw the Klan? They living in our heads like the boogeyman. We keep talking about them. Oh, well, they infiltrated. Everybody who infiltrated ain't the Klan. Some of them are just racist. Like some of us ain't shit. And if we can't keep making everybody a Klansman, like we don't want them to make every black person a nigga. And as one to say, the Buffalo shooter was well trained. He was calm and shot with precision. He only had one threat to encounter, and that was that security guard. That's the only somebody who encountered him. But guess what? As soon as he was outnumbered, what did he do? He turned into the same bitch ass that all the rest of them do when they outnumbered. He didn't want to lose. He didn't want to lose. See, that's the only difference between good sense and lunacy. When you got good sense and you see you outnumbered, you know what you do? You give up. When you don't give a fuck, you keep shooting. And you dare them to kill you. You know, one point they called it suicide by cop, other points they just called it suicide. But even when he turned his back on them people to walk out the store, now we can't never prove this, but I'm willing to bet dimes to dollars that somebody else inside their store had a gun, but wasn't gonna shoot him while he was walking out because they were still scared.
And let me add
But we
something.
can't. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, go ahead. No, I want to add something real quick. Is that that boy? I'm guessing that dude wasn't even scared he was going to get killed or hurt or anything. And I think some of the reasoning behind that, he saw what happened to Kyle Rittenhour. See what happened to Kyle Rittenhour? Nothing. That boy was able to kill people and go on with his life. So now you got all the other young white boys seeing that. What you think they thinking? What you think they learning? Oh, we can get away with stuff. I can kill people and walk and go to school the next day. And look what happened this time. The same we don't know what's gonna happen with the prosecution, but if that was a black person committing that crime, y'all know he would have been Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese.
And the only reason, because I wanted to be able to defend Buffalo, because I believe everything. You got to keep apples with apples and oranges with oranges. We have to look at the department, which is why when we talked last time, I told you to look at Minneapolis and this police chief. He ain't shit. There are too many things that happen under his watch. Sometimes you have police officers who are greatly trained, so we can't mix all agencies together. But it just so happens, Buffalo has had a couple of untimely shootings. So guess what? I got to give into that theory now. And this is one of the things I always look at. How prevalent is this in this community? And this is what I want everybody to start looking at. If the police jurisdiction that shoots an unarmed black man or an unarmed black person or any unarmed civilian, let's look and see what their history is. Because there are some good policing communities where they ain't gonna have nothing happen because the police chief is actually a good person and believes in training. So don't think that a good trained agency is the same as a shitty trained agency. Let's look at who's responsible. Let's look at what their normal responses are. Do they have a history of doing one something or the other? If they don't have a history, let's be fair. Let's just call them a good agency. You will see certain officers never get into trouble. If they respond to a call, it's going to end favorably, regardless. Because we can sit back and say, yeah, with the DC sniper, nobody was killed. Yeah, I know way too many killers here, but this is a different place. There are still black people who go to jail who damn, they should have never made it. But who was the responding officer? What was the responding agency? We got to look at the track records before we just start arbitrarily blaming everybody, because then we lose the argument. Because if they can show where it ain't, now we got to do. Now the next time we accuse somebody, we got to show that we're not just blindly accusing everybody. It ain't no difference when somebody tell us what black men ain't. We're gonna say, yeah, not me. But when the police agents do it, can they say that? And so let's give them their due. Let's put them through due process. Let's look at their track record. Mo is great. Mo is great at research. I just happened to do a little quick research and found out that Buffalo has had some instances that wasn't quite kosher. So I can't defend them no more. I can't defend them. And what we also got to look at is social media. We know that the police do not act the same when cameras and camera phones show up. And it's so crazy. I did a funeral today. I did a funeral. I got a call and they said it's gonna be a problem lady there. One of the granddaughters, the family don't want there. At a funeral. We go. And the lady who is banned, and that's a sucky thing to get banned from a funeral, she's there, putting on the show. She outside right now. She can't come in. Now, I want y'all to just work with me on this, especially you, Mo, because you right here with me. She can't come in. So right now, this is a funeral. Mo, you been to funerals before?
Oh yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a black
How
man.
many cops do you normally see working a funeral?
None.
And we talking about inside the church.
Wow.
How many security guards you normally see working the funeral inside the church?
It's not a time for that. None.
Right. So we got three. We got three. One cop, two security guards looking for this woman. So she don't come in. So bam, she show up outside when everybody getting ready to come in. She putting on a show. She putting on the show. MFers, SOBs, all on church property. So she identified her. We know who she is now because we told she crazy. So it's probably about 50, 60 family members out there. And she just cussed them out. So I walk up to her and tell her, man, you know, one, you can't talk like that on church property. This is a funeral. That's just totally disrespectful. F you. What's up, Ebony? What's up, Sam? What's up, Gwen? F you. You don't tell me nothing. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. My guards walked up to her first. They got their security shirts on. She tell them what she ain't gonna do. So I walk over and I tell her, she said, F you. You ain't the police. You're a security guard. You don't tell me what to do. She got two boys right there with her. So I pull up my jacket and show her, you know, my sheriff badge. The son said, calm down, mama, here, real police. F him. I'll go to jail. Who come in that mentality? Who come into a funeral with that mentality? Who comes to a funeral with that mentality? Now, work with me now. She's banned from the church because of her demeanor. She gotta be 60-ish years old. 60. Really hostile. Mama use you first. If your mama was acting up and you tried to get her to calm down and she told you to get your effing hands off her, what you gonna do?
Man, that's a good question. Well, we're
You're
gonna
right.
find a way to try to handle it. We're gonna try to find a way to try to handle it without looking like her. We don't want to become her.
She ain't doing it. She done told you to get your hands off her. I'm gonna slap the taste out your mouth. And when you told her to calm down, she told you to shut the F up. She's saying this in front of all these people now. So now, when I go to tell her, hey, you gonna have to leave the property. Remember now, we still talking about your mom. And I got two big boys with me. They knuckle draggers. They big boys. How you gonna feel about my boys putting their hands on your mama, Mo? Honestly, how you gonna feel? Knowing that she out of hand, but she still your mama, how you gonna feel?
But you probably don't want to ask me that, man, because of my background.
Yes, I do.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll be just fine with it. I'll be just fine
Would
with
you?
it.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
But you know these boys ain't with it because we can drag her mom out. But her four sons, just give us a minute. But you know, cause like I said, my boys are big. My boys are big. We got them. I had them leave their regular job just for this because they said she might show out. I didn't know she was at this level to show out. I thought she was just this woman want to fight. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? And I brought this scenario up for a simple reason because we ended up having a meeting because Some people at the church is like, why y'all didn't escort her off the property? I said, y'all didn't notice she got 4 boys, she got 4 sons and 2 daughters. When my 2 guys went up to block her, 6 people pulled up on them. 6. With her makes 7. My boys is good. But let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all really want us fighting outside the church? We're in the center of a bunch of old people. There's no way to stop collateral damage. What should I do? Should we go ahead and knock them down and fight these 6 and hope we don't hurt nobody else in the process? Or should I just shoot 2 of them? Because clearly the numbers say we outnumber. They're aggressive. They want to fight. I could shoot. I got 18 rounds. I could shoot 6 of them and make it a fair fight. Would you want me to shoot your mama off?
Nah, man. Nah, please find
But I
a
ain't got a
different
whole lot of
approach.
options. Right, but I'm just saying, people will look at us because if I do what I'm supposed to, I should become a force multiplier and remove her from the property. Because clearly she's making at least 30 other people uncomfortable. But all she's doing is cursing. She ain't touched nobody. She's just cursing. So if we follow what people generally think, when I get my 2 boys to grab her, oh, one, you hear what I said? Her sons was already scared. Her son's already scared. She done already told them to get y'all hands off me. Get the F out my face. Shut the F up. Don't you tell me what to do. I'm your mama. Because I told him, I say, listen, now she going to go to jail. She can't come. But, it sucks. They were good sons. They put up a united front. They going to stand with them. So now, again, the numbers game say it's 7 against 1. 7 against 3. It's 7 against 3. We had a funeral. They want to fuss at me like, why you didn't do this? We called the police. Told the police the police got there. He asked me what was going on. I said, dude, you need some more people. Because now it's 4 against 7. He called for some more. But my point is when you got this and the family has already said they don't want her there, she might have a gun. How do you drag her out with public perception? Because when I had the meeting with the church, they was like, why you didn't do this? I said, you see all them phones? I said, I wasn't worried about us doing wrong because her being a woman was the least of my concerns. Her being a mother was more my concern. And us not knowing who was who. Because when they see these 2 big knuckle draggers grab this woman, funeral or not, they're going to see 2 big dudes manhandling a woman. Perception is reality. Even though she is clearly the aggressor. When they break out the phones, ain't nobody going to catch the first part of the show. Because it's just like sports. Everybody catch what happened next. Nobody catch what happened first. I say, if these 6, 7 people decide to attack us, what are we supposed to do? My boys don't get paid to take an ass whooping. I don't get paid to take an ass whooping. We can't fight 7 people. We can't fight 7 people. Well, this other stuff never would have happened if y'all wouldn't let her in the building. You're right. Because everybody would have been hurt. We'd have been calling the paramedics. The news would have been up here. Everybody would have been talking about what happened at the church. The police finally come. He see what's going on. He said, can we handle it? I said, you can try to talk to her first. Go talk to her. He went and talked to her. He came back out laughing at me. I said, what's up? He said, yeah. He said, I got to call someone. I said, yeah. Because now it's just 4 of us. I still know we outnumbered 7-4. And unless you're cool with shooting, because we can't spray her, because again, we're in a crowd. We got to have a tactical plan. Oh, the policeman called, Sam. He there. He realized one police ain't enough. When do you go to a funeral and you really need police? Who been to a funeral where you really needed the police? So it's 2 cops there, 2 big security guards. But we already know we got 8 combatants that we can easily identify. And I'm just using this to say that, sometimes people think that, oh, well, they could have did this and we could have followed policy and just taser, pepper sprayed and been done with it. Optics. Everybody with a camera phone now. Everybody doing this. Everybody want to go Facebook Live. And they would have been saying, look at my crazy grandmom, look at my crazy grand auntie. But they would have still been at that church, which would have been our look, it would have went viral. So sometimes you make decisions based on what you're dealt with. And when you got people with cameras and cell phones, 9 times out of 10, the police are gonna act better whether they want to or not. Because the last thing you want to do, especially in their case, is shoot somebody on camera, unless you just absolutely have to. Because should they have shot him, based on what I teach y'all, no. He came out, what I tell you last week, a bill of opportunity in jeopardy. The gun is pointed at him. So who is he in jeopardy of shooting? Nobody by the time the cops got there. So what could they do? By policy, they had to go into negotiation status. We were lucky to catch the other stuff in action. The cop that shot the guy that was running, we were lucky that got caught by something else. He didn't know he was being filmed. Had he known, he wouldn't have did the same thing. So I'm in favor of body cameras. I'm in favor of them. I'm in favor of cameras all the time because it will make us act better. But sometimes it shows how bad the other people act. But I'm in favor of that. But they changed the way we police. You really think if we go back to George Floyd, he knew he was being filmed. What's the officer's name? What's the officer's name?
Oh, okay. Oh man, I got so many in my head. I'll think of it in a minute. Keep going.
Derek
Okay,
Chauvin.
but guess what?
Siobhan.
Yeah, Derek
Chauvin.
Chauvin. You know why he kept doing what he was doing? Remember what I told you before, Mo? 28 complaints. And what he got from it was a promotion and a raise. So he didn't even think he was doing nothing wrong. So there was nothing for him to change. Think about it. He didn't have his hand on his pistol. He didn't pull out his pepper spray. He was doing nothing seemingly aggressive. This is things he has been taught he can do and get away with. I don't care if y'all filming. I'm doing what the policy says. The policy at that time said that when you got a non-compliant individual, you can put your knee on their neck to restrain them. What was he doing? Putting his knee on his neck to restrain him because he wasn't going nowhere. That's what the policy said. That's what the policy said. He stuck to the policy. And I believe the only reason he stuck to that policy is because he knew that little girl had a camera, or somebody right there that had a camera. If not, I believe he would have gone and got some licks in because he got some complaints for physical abuse. But for every complaint he got an attaboy. He got a promotion. He got made a training officer. Wanda, you still with me? How many training officers can have 24 use of force complaints? That is insane. Hell, regular police can't have 28 use of force complaints. Insanity. So when we looking at the system, we looking at how we become victims. We looking at what we do to play into their system. Because if we want to survive these instances, there's certain things that we got to do, and we got to stop giving up. Oh yeah, they was in personnel file. That's how I found them. All you got to do is ask for them. They didn't even try to hide them. There's certain things that we have to do, and one is get that no snitching mentality out of our head. Because no snitching make us. If we don't close our eyes, we do what Mo just said. We treat them like the bum on the street. We see him, but we don't. When you pass that homeless guy on the street and somebody asks you what color he was or what was he wearing, you don't remember because you ignored him. So if he got a gun or something on him, won't nobody know because we're so used to acting like we don't want to know nothing. That makes us prime prey because people know all they got to do. If you see me a couple of times, you'll just ignore me and treat me as a norm. Because if we look, and I ain't did this part yet because I've been busy, when was the first 911 call made? And I bet it wasn't made till after the shooting started. When the 911 call made when he got out the car with the rifle. And all these gun laws don't let you walk around with rifles. And hell, we still talking about New York. One, I know you from New York. When in New York can you have a gun out in public? So he got out the car with a gun, and as Mo said, everybody just looked at him. They might have said something to him, but who called the cops and said, hey, man, y'all got a dude up here with fucking military gear on an assault rifle that say black people, here your reparations? How did we miss that? How did those people in Buffalo? I know how the people inside the store miss it because they didn't see it. But how did everybody else miss it? And this is what we got to look at. What are we teaching? When I went overseas, it's crazy that in elementary school, they teach them to spot suspicious packages. They teach this in elementary school, spotting suspicious packages and let somebody know. Whereas we don't want to act like it can happen. When we got a school shooting, you find out after the fact that somebody knew something, but nobody says anything. Somebody knew something, but nobody, because they don't want to get involved. How long are we going to let that be our marching orders and think that our numbers are going to increase or that we're going to progress? How long, as Richard Pryor say, are we going to let this bullshit go on? How long before we realize that no snitching is our downfall? Because Miss Mary knows about everybody. Miss Mary tell you every dude that's been over that girl house, she kind of fast, but Miss Mary know everything. But we shun Miss Mary who keeping track of shit. We shun Miss Mary who called the police and said, "Hey, ain't nobody been in and out of that house in 3 days. Somebody normally there." So guess what the police do? The police kick the door in, do a welfare check, and bam, we got a dead girl. Family don't even know because it's not uncommon for her to disappear for 3 or 4 days at a time. Because we like being isolated. Mo minded his own business. I'm minding my own business. Gwen minded her own business. Wanda minded her own business. So when do we check up on each other if everybody minding their own business? When do we check to make sure everybody okay? I used to have a bad habit of going for rides for 3, 4 days at a time and not telling nobody nothing. I realized how dumb it was, how selfish it was. Because if I'm having this ride and I'm just riding to another state, I ain't told nobody, something happens to me, who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? They ain't even gonna know where to look. This is something that we have to be accountable and responsible for and stop our selfish behavior. This is something where we gotta start looking out for us and each other. This is how we become better. You ever go to, y'all got a Chinatown where you live? Mo?
No Chinatown over here, brother.
All right, we got a Chinatown here. Go over
I
to that
had one in
Chinatown and
Boston.
say,
I lived in
and if you
Boston.
say
I had
something
one there.
this, and everybody know you when you get there, because they telling each other somebody suspicious is here. They can tell everybody know what you got on by color. You can try to change something, say something out of pocket. They gonna come get you. They gonna come get you. They ain't gonna be like, oh, well, go to another store. They gonna get you out of Chinatown. They're gonna get you out. They're paying attention. We have got to pay attention. We have got to band together for a common cause. Whether that common cause is getting rid of roaches, getting rid of the predators in our midst, or protecting each other. We cannot progress while being solo artists. I cannot make this show great without having Bobby Wilson or Gwen Dean or Wanda Diane come on and correct me when I'm saying something that's incorrect, or even just enhancing my knowledge base. But guess what I got to do for all that to happen? I have to talk to them. I have to acknowledge them. I try to speak to everybody when they pop up. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes y'all be going too fast. I'll be in my own little thing. But hey, everybody who ain't spoke to. But this is what we got to do. How else are we going to do it? How else are we going to do it? You know, I was telling people before, hey, listen, fellas, listen to me. Ain't no need in trying to teach your woman to be on high alert all the time. It ain't what they do. It ain't what they do. And I ain't knocking on you women that are on high alert. But normally that ain't what you do. But Mo, when your wife go to the mall and she get ready to leave the mall, let her talk to you on the phone till she get in the car and is on the road.
Right.
Because guess what? If she talking to you or something happens, you know right then. You don't have to figure out what happened. So yeah, ladies, gentlemen, whoever you are, when you got somebody that's out, let them talk to you. It's too many apps you can get on your phone now where you can track each other. My dad had an a tracker app for my sister when they got out of school. From the minute they left school till they got, he could tell you exactly where they were within 50 feet with his little app. Verizon got the little Glimpse thing on there. Glimpse is one of the best things going, ladies and gentlemen. If you can download Glimpse, download Glimpse. Glimpse will show you where somebody is. I'm trying to tell you within 2 yards. And you can see everything they're doing. You can track how far they are from you, how close you are to them. We got to get into this and understand that in this unsafe world today, where we know there are lots of predators in our midst, whether they be black, whether they be cops, whether they be priests or whatever, knowing where the people are that we trust and love is paramount. Stop being selfish and to yourself, and whatever happened, hey man, as long as it don't happen in my neighborhood, that's what's hurting us. As long as it ain't happening in my house, I don't care what the neighbor's doing. Remember I told y'all about the girl at the other church I worked at? She stopped me and she said, hey, the girl next door to me got killed. I saw the man who did it. What do you think I should do? I said, huh? She said, well, I'm kind of scared he might come get me. I said, why would he come get you? She said, I know he saw me. So you know you saw a man who killed a woman. You wonder whether or not you should tell. You're wondering if you should tell on the killer that saw you. Because once he killed one, you figure that quenched his thirst. But what if I tell the police and they tell him I saw him? You worried about the police telling a killer who saw you. He already know you saw you. So what difference does it make if the police telling? Well, you know, they ain't gonna protect me. Okay. For shits and giggles, do you think the killer gonna protect you? Well, he might, because he know I saw him. I said, just say that shit out loud. A killer's gonna protect you because you saw him. A killer. Not a thief who stole a TV, a killer. How do you know he killed her? She said, because that's what made me walk out the door. I heard the gunshot, and when I came out the door, he was coming out the door. I don't know what to say. I just want to mind my own business. Maybe if I don't bother him, he won't bother me. Wanda Gwen, give me something. What do you do for that mentality? You will let a killer stay in your neighborhood because you're more afraid of him killing you because the police ain't gonna protect you. But he saw you when he came through the door with the gun in his hand. Well, he didn't shoot me then. What did you say to him? You're supposed to be my good conscience. Tell me what you say. Tell me what you say to this woman. Wanda, Gwen, give me something. What am I supposed to say to her? Bobby, Sam, Ebony, somebody give me something. And this, when we trying to find solutions, I ain't met a solution yet that didn't require some kind of action. Do we want to act? Or do we want to just sit back and keep hoping that don't nothing happen? I ain't knocking nobody who pray, but how long is praying gonna be proven not to be the answer and we keep going back to it? How long? How long is it that we will let predators live in our midst and we gonna think that protecting them protects the community? Who wants to build a village? If I know Mo is gonna let people break into my house and not see shit, I don't want Mo to be my neighbor. That makes no sense to me. Why would I want him as a neighbor? I'm confused on that mentality because we keep saying we want a village, but when we get to this village, I want Mo to do something for me, but I ain't gonna do nothing for him. Hey man, can you watch out for my house? Then when Mo leave town, you be like, yo, D, can you watch my house? Hell no, why you don't get you an alarm? What's the purpose of the village? A great question got asked yesterday. How many of your neighbors do you know? Not by sight. But if something was happening, could you call them and let them know their house was on fire? Could you call them because you saw a moving van in the yard to check to see if they moving? Because one of the best robbing crews the best robbing crews that I knew of would go rent U-Hauls, pull up to your house, kick your door in. People would walk by and see them, but they saw that U-Haul. Oh, I thought you was moving, but they couldn't call them. Oh yeah, they know who the neighbor is, but they don't have no way. They don't have no way of getting in touch with them. How do you have a village if you don't know anybody in your village? They got this app called Nextdoor. Let's keep in touch with your neighbors. Check it out. It's free. But how do we protect the village if we don't know who the village is? I know I see Mo. I don't know his name. I know he drive the green Lexus. I wave every time he go by. He honk his horn. But if his house catch on fire, what do? I gotta wait for him to come back home to tell him what he can see now. What do? When the U-Haul van pull up in front of his house and they kick the door and they take all his shit because he going to work and they've been watching him, what do? We don't talk, so I don't know. Oh, I thought he was moving because I ain't never talked to him. If I would have knew, yeah, he ain't been here for 3 months. Who moved in 3 months? But we don't talk to each other. But we want everybody to do something for us. If we don't trust the police, and I ain't knocking you if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really not going to knock you right now. But if you don't trust the police, why are you trusting? Who are you trusting to take care of you if you don't know nobody? Don't trust them. Great and fine. But have a friend. Have somebody that you can call and text or something every day to let you know, hey, I'm good. Whether it's your daughter, your best friend. Hell, I don't care if you call your exes right now. But somebody needs to know what's going on with you. Somebody needs to know what's going on with you. You need to be able to talk to these same people. The village can't be one-sided. I got to be able to provide for the village what I want to take from the village. If my daughter gets hit, I want somebody to not only be able to bring her back to my doorstep, but I need somebody to be able to call me too, just in case. We, like most people, when our kids go outside, we run to the store. I don't need for them to wait while I'm at the store for an hour getting some groceries before I find out something wrong with her. What are we doing to build this community other than talking about it? What are we doing? Mo live in a whole nother state. Wanda is in, I don't know where Wanda at. I think Wanda a fugitive. But I done reached out to Michael. I done reached out to Ari. I done reached out to a lot of people who come to this show. Some of y'all I check on. I send y'all inbox or whatever. But what are we doing right amongst us? It's a shame how many people I've met through the internet. And I was guilty of not knowing my neighbors. But guess what? I got my neighbors' phone numbers. I got their phone numbers now. Because I can't preach something that I ain't doing. But I can call my neighbors up. I can shoot them a text. Hell, I still don't know their name. I got their addresses now. That's how I got them on the phone, by their address. And when they answer, I just start talking. But this is what we got to do to build this village so we can take better care of each other. So if we see something suspicious, we can start letting each other know. Hey, I keep seeing this car drive by your house. It's driving real slow. You know, look out for that black Suburban. It may not be nothing. It was my son who was lost. But now I at least know somebody is looking out for what's going on. I ain't going to tell them to mind their own business. Because guess what? I am their business if this is a village. A village is not one single unit. It's supposed to operate as one single unit with a bunch of appendages. We are the appendages. Our kids are the appendages. Our property are the appendages. We can't keep doing the same thing and setting ourselves up to be prey and then wonder why we don't get shit done. Because the reason we ain't getting shit done is because we ain't doing shit. We ain't doing shit. We can't keep blaming the man, the system, the this, the that. We all smart enough to know how to start fixing shit. Accountability and responsibility. We got to step up. It's 8 o'clock. I got to go before I get an Instagram. Mo, give us something to leave out on.
Something to what? Something to do what?
Give us something to leave out on. Give us a parting
Yeah,
shot
no.
for yourself.
Listen, what you were saying is key. I think back and I'm thinking about, he said the village. The village is key because when you think back of all of the other different organizations and cultures, everybody got a village. Think of this: white folks, their kids go to boys clubs, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, right? The Spanish people, their kids go to what's called a quinceañera when the girls turn 16. I'm not sure what the boys do. But you get down to the black folks, man. I don't, culturally, I don't know what we do when our kids turn 16 or go, the rite of passage. We don't have a rite of passage. We need to put together a structure so that we got a rite of passage. And like D said, find out, get to know your neighbors. Say hi. It's okay. It's okay. I know we all come from a lot of us come from the projects where we all lived right on top of each other. It was uncomfortable. That was that's a design, folks. That was a design that you got put into. It's a rat experiment. When they put you in a small confined space on top of each other and you don't get along, that's not the nature of black people. That was an experiment that was done to make us all think that's how we are. It's not the way we are. We can be friendly. We can talk to each other. We can be concerned. Like D said, you can go to your neighbor, introduce yourself, get their number. They give them your number. When you leave, they look at after you. You look after their stuff when they leave, when you leave. And it's just changing philosophy. Our psychology has to change, man, because what was done in the past it was very effective. I'm gonna tell you, what happened to us. It can cause trauma. It caused trauma for now, we're already up to like about 500 something years. It's gonna go longer if we don't do something about it. I'm gonna stop right there.
And like I say, this is just food for thought. I love the fact that y'all spend time with me, and we're gonna come up. I'm gonna keep giving y'all some solutions. If you got some, share them with me so we can share them together. If you want to come on the show, let's start talking about it. But we got to stop doing. We have to stop doing. We have to stop making excuses. We have to stop making excuses. There is no way in the hell you can know who the enemy is or who not to trust, and you still dealing with them. That is sheer stupidity. That is as stupid as it comes. Whether it's the police, whether it's women, whether it's men, whatever you dealing with that's keep getting you in the same dumb rut, it's on you now. It ain't on them no more. It's you. Accept that. Once you accept that, you can become better just like that. As Michael said, why in the hell are you walking into the same trap over and over and over again? You know what's going to happen. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. It's sheer stupidity. And everybody claim they know better. If you know better, do better. Stop talking about it and be about it. It's Random Thoughts with DVP. It's 8 o'clock. I will see y'all 6 days and 22 hours. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. That was just bothering me. Because people kept saying, how did that happen? And people let him walk up and didn't do shit. We let it happen time and time and time again. They're not sneaking up on us. They're not coming out the woods. They coming up Main Street, and we see them. And we turn around. We put our head down. We don't call nobody. We don't say nothing to nobody. That's the shit you won't post. That's the shit you won't do. But when you see a fight video, you can't wait to post it. But we don't put out alerts. We don't put out alerts. We don't put out alerts. It sickens me. But y'all know what it is. Until next week, y'all, peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. And I'm out.